welcome to the grid. You're just thinking about winning a race.
It's going to be two Mercedes going wheel to wheel into turn one.
Brilliant wheel-to-wheel action, definitely game on.
Your finest moment in the race.
What a great race we've got in progress.
Hi there. Day 3 of testing here in Barcelona, and the focus firmly on Ferrari. There have been rumours all winter that Formula One's most famous team had got design fundamentals of their car wrong, and yet the performances on track here seem to belie that. And yet, since the end of last season, we had hardly heard from either team boss Maurizio Arrivabene or either of the two drivers. Ferrari had put up the shutters. That said, they've done their talking on the track fairly effectively. Sebastian Vettel, after lunch, produced the week's fastest time on the soft compound. He had a minor glitch towards the end of the day and stopped on track, but Ferrari crisis? What crisis? Vettel's dad Norbert, in Ferrari colours, looked on alongside his son's old Red Bull mentor, Dr. Helmut Marko.
Of course, Mercedes is still the favorite. For sure, they have the fastest engine, they have the most drivable or best drivability. Renault is catching up. How much we will see when we come to Melbourne, but we are positive that we could come very near to them mid-season or so.
I want to ask you about one of the younger drivers in your Red Bull program, Carlos Sainz. Did Mercedes approach you about taking him? And he's still at Toro Rosso. If you didn't have a space at Red Bull and another big team came in for him next year, would you have to let him go?
First of all, we don't want to be in a situation like Mercedes was, you know. All of a sudden, quite late, or at the end of the seasons, being there without a competitive driver. That's why we have our junior team. And so far, none of the top team has approached us. Toro Rosso should be a good midfield team. Their aim is they should finish 5th, so as long as nothing better comes around, we don't see any reason why he should leave.
Marko studied Mercedes hard too, and with good reason. On soft rubber and fueled for 6 laps, Valtteri Bottas went 0.8 of a second quicker than Tuesday's best mark. After breaking the 80-second barrier on super softs, he put on ultra softs to set the quickest time on this track, official or unofficial, for 8 years. Lewis Hamilton, meanwhile, focused on heavy fuel runs and lapped quicker than Bottas during similar stints the day before. His afternoon mileage total suggested that winter fitness regime had worked.
I'm loving driving the car and working. I walked into the garage this morning and I'm just like, it's crazy. I've been doing this for so long, but it's such an amazing feeling to walk in and see that car sitting there, and I'm one of the only 2 people that get to drive it. You know, it's quite incredible.
The Mercedes garage also had a visitor, world champion Nico Rosberg.
Here we are again. Who would have thought? What have you been up to?
Just having a great time, really, you know, and doing some family time, and also flat out just exploring to find new challenges, new directions, which is great fun.
Very well. Have you lost a bit of weight around the chops here, or the neck's got smaller? Maybe you don't have to do some neck training.
It's the neck, yeah. The neck is completely shrunk down. No more muscles there.
That's good. What have you made of what you've seen of this year's car so far?
Well, first of all, for our sport, it's such an awesome hype at the moment. So that's really exciting, and so it's great to be here and see it firsthand. You know, see these cars. They are absolutely monstrous, and that's how it should be, definitely. So I think they've gone in the right direction. And also, you know, the drivers, they're going to be they're going to be gladiators out there this year, you know, and the cars are going to take them to their physical limits. And we might even see drivers losing race wins because of just being physically knackered. And I think that's the direction that the sport should be in, you know, and so it's all looking good.
Also looking good is Valtteri. He's taken your seat. You're right. Do you want your coat? Oh, okay. Was the my warmth you can borrow mine if you want. Is it fair to expect Valtteri to be challenging Lewis and beating him straight away from the first race?
Well, he's a good driver, so for sure we need to expect that he will be challenging Lewis. Then it's difficult to predict exactly how they're going to compare. We all know Lewis is a massive benchmark, so it's never going to be easy against him, but I'm sure there's going to be a good battle.
Okay, and did you see Lewis's comments about data sharing? He said just before the launch. He said he didn't think data sharing should continue because it's unfair if you find something and then your teammate just nicks it. What did you think of those comments?
I have heard that one before.
It rung a bell.
I mean, yeah, it's his view, and again, if I put myself into the driver's perspective, then yeah, it just makes it all a bit more 1970s, and just a little bit more pure, and then there's more variability in it, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing, So, but then again, we are in a technological world, and that is just part of the sport now. That we're all cutting edge and super professional. So you can see it this way or that way.
Daniel Ricciardo lowered Red Bull's best time for the week, although they still focus largely on aerodynamic work in short outings. McLaren too went a little faster, and for the first day this week didn't have to change their power unit. Yet for a team whose management targeted a top 3 constructors finish, progress appeared slow. More on that in Ted's notebook later. Renault set their targets lower. Could they exceed them? Julian Palmer spun into the gravel, but banked a lap half-century, and speed trap times backed up claims Renault's engine has improved. Can you quantify the step Renault have made over the winter? Is it a good one?
The car's way quicker, that's all I can tell you, but everyone can tell you the same thing. So it's really difficult to say. I feel much more comfortable with the characteristics of the car. It's more consistent, it's more compliant. I feel confident in it to attack. I just don't know what anyone else is doing in the other cars.
The one criticism Kevin Magnussen made about the team on leaving was that you can have all the resources in the world, but if you haven't organised them all correctly, it doesn't amount to that much. Are there signs, though, that the organisation is coming together as well and you can get the most out of the resources you have?
I think so. I mean, I feel very happy with the team. I think the team is in a very good place. I think it's very well organised. I think we're all pretty clear what's going on, and especially starting this season with none of the Lotus carryover problems. It's starting fresh. A chassis engine that's designed for this car with a lot of preparation time. Everyone knows their jobs. We've got a lot of great people in the factory. We've got the resources on top of that. I think it's a lot of reasons to be positive.
Just listening to you, you're saying you're not watching what everyone else is doing, but do you get a sense, or would it be naive to think that Mercedes wouldn't have a little bit of daylight early on in the season? It seems to look that way at the moment.
I honestly, I wouldn't know. I mean, I'm not that fussed either. They'll be ahead of us. I hope for the sport that Ferrari can be close. They look really strong as well. Those guys are definitely going to be ahead of us, probably Red Bull as well. I hope Mercedes aren't going to run away with it, but I'm not too focused on what's going on there.
There were other spinners, including Carlos Sainz, who shared driving duties with Daniel Kvyat at Toro Rosso, and Lance Stroll, a double offender in that area, who took his gravel tally to 3 for the week. It prevented him racking up a lap century. Romain Grosjean got to grips with 2017 machinery for the first time. He was the last of the drivers here to do so. The pace already shown has seen Pirelli project a pole position time of 1 minute 17 seconds. That's 5 seconds quicker than Hamilton's mark from last May. Tyre degradation, however, or lack of it, suggested every race might feature just one pit stop. Alonso's time, albeit respectable, was set on the quickest ultra-soft tyre. Well, the way lap times have been falling, it's easy to assume that teams are already seriously involved in performance evaluation, but I understand that to be an illusion. Most of them are still holding back their major aerodynamic upgrades until the second test, and some of them are even rumoured to be holding back upgraded engine packages too. What we will see new tomorrow, however, is some running on wet tyres for the first time. We're going to artificially water the track. That's all from me for today. Up next, Ted's Notebook.